The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Tom O'Brien Show is produced every business day after the market close. Tom takes your phone calls from 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time using the data available at that time.
Let's go to Gail in Tampa. Hey, Gail, what's going on?
Hey, love your program. You're amazing.
How long have you been listening?
Oh, my gosh. Well, off and on for about maybe, 6 to 7 years.
Oh.
I mean, just on the radio. Didn't understand the TV. And then I go out to Seattle once a year. We have a trading club out there.
Okay.
And then he started talking in class about your book, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the guy that I listened to in Florida. And then I started watching your TV live, and it's just amazing. I need to become a tiger.
Well, you're already a tiger. See, you've been out there 6 years. See, once you check in to TFNN, you can't check out. It's like Hotel California. It's pretty sick, I know.
No, it's great. And I have some gold I want to try to get over to you, and then I want to buy some coins for my grandkids. So I appreciate what you're doing. I think it's amazing. You're just really amazing. Thank you very much.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Now, Tom O'Brien.
Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 3 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. It's a TGIF Friday, folks. Let's make it a great one. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Release the need to be right. When you believe something, you assume you're right. You may even destroy relationships in order to defend your position. Let go of the need to defend your position. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow down 74. NASDAQ was up 11. S&Ps are off 2.5. Gold contract up $10.90, trading at $1,737 an ounce. Silver up 16 cents at $33.90 an ounce. Platinum up 12 at $1,621 an ounce. Copper flat at $3.89 a pound. Light sweet crude flat at $99.63 a barrel. Bonds up 20 ticks at 143.15. Dollar index down 59 ticks, trading out at 78.92. Euro up 118 ticks at 132.27. And the yen down 77 at 76.68. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? In the world of the S&Ps, let's take a look at them. Now, what we'll do here, since it's the end of the week, folks, we're going to go through the weeklies. Why not, right? Because the bottom line is that when you see what's happening here, here we go. The weeklies, okay. We are at 1316 cash, okay? The highs of last week was 1315.49, so you're over that high. Now, volume-wise, not even close. You're talking about 800 million. And if we bring up the SPY and you take a look at the SPY, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to bring this back to 01, meaning January of 2011. We'll put it on a weekly, and you'll see what's shaking and baking here. Okay, so what do we do this week? This week on the SPY, folks, we got to 133.40. You closed at 131.82. Now, the 133.40, of course, got over last week's. Now, then what do? We close under last week's. Now, that says on a short-term basis, that means that, okay, you want to pull back down the other side. And the other side happens to be the other swing point that is quite a way down. I suspect it's going to be first 129.42, which was the highs of the week of the 28th. But watch this correlation, folks. The correlation on the weekly goes 747 million going into 2.2 billion. That supply line is a monster. So let me say it again. You're going into 2.2 billion, and you did 747 million, and you failed. That says, you know what? This baby wants to get into lower price. Dow Industrials. We go over to the Dow. We take a look at the Dow. We're going to put the Dow up also on a weekly basis. We bring the baby back. Today it was down 74 bucks. No big deal. We take it back. We're going to do the same exercise. Bring this on the weekly. Now, what you have on the Dow is this. Dow got to a price point this week of 12,841. That 12,841 got it over the 6th, the week of the 6th of May, the week of the 29th of April, as well as the July 8th and July 22nd highs. They failed in all cases, every one of them. Now, if we bring up the diamonds, show you the correlation, and with dramatically lighter volume. But let's bring up the diamonds so I can show you how this shakes and bakes. We put the weekly up on the diamonds. Diamonds got to a price point of 128.13. We did it with 31 million. The 31 million went into 47 million and failed, went into 28 million and failed, and went to 25 million and failed. What does that mean? That means that the diamonds want to get back into the 122, and we'll see 122.58 to be exact, and we'll see what happens there. The diamonds are going into the downdraft of 87 million, and you did 31 million. Now, NASDAQ composite. We take a look at the composite. What you have with the composite is this. We bring this same deal, put it on a weekly. NASDAQ composite got to a price point this week of 28.34. That's 28.34, close at 28.16. That 28.34 was going into the downdraft of the August 5th level. Now, if you bring up, I'm going to bring up the NDX 100, and we take a look at the 3 Qs. We use the 3 Qs in order to do that, so you can see that correlation. That correlation here shakes out like this. We closed at 60.40. Now, that is over all the highs. That's the bottom line there. What we do it on, though? Well, you know what, folks? You did it on 218 million, and you're going into 627. Now, when you do close over the highs, bottom line, it does mean that you can go higher. We bring this back, and you take a look at it. It's above it. When I see something that gets above it like this, that's a false break topside. But, you know, bottom line, until it gets back inside 59.83, that baby can get higher. What is it? And the way a false break works, folks, is this. When you get a false break, either downtown or uptown, when it goes, you know, it can go 1, 2, 3 days, whatever that is. Then you come back down the other side, get out of the way. Gold contract. Let's go take a look at gold. We had out here with gold this week. Gold moves into, she had volume on Wednesday, she had volume on Thursday, and today the volume wasn't bad either. Okay, we're at 1737. Contract-wise, today we did 164,000. We did contract 240,000 on Wednesday and 237 on Thursday. Now, that was going into 284,000 and 245,000. That's not bad, though. That's on the daily. We put this on a weekly, and what you're going to see is that you closed at the 1737. That means that, yes, it can run to that swing point of 1806. And what it also means, by the way, too, is that the next retracement is going to be important in the context of, okay, how does this come back into a pullback? Now, if we go over to the GLD, I'm going to take the GLD, which trades at 10% of the price of gold. We take that, we put that into a weekly. What you're going to see in the GLD is that the GLD went up on a weekly with 77 million. That's going into 122 million. Bottom line, though, it still looks like it wants to trade it to 175, which is the top swing point there. The downdraft where that big supply line is 176 to 158. Right now we're at 168. Bonds. We go to the bond market. We take a look at bonds. What we had with bonds out here. Bonds did 321,000 contracts. Now, the way bonds are set up, folks, let me tell you something. I don't know how it's going to happen, but this 30-year wants to go to $1.60. Now, watch. This is so subtle. It's unreal, actually. The contract. Now, bonds didn't move that much today. I mean, you know, 22 points. Well, 22 points in the bond market is a lot of bread. It's $750, okay, per contract. But it was a sneaky little move. I mean, it really didn't. You know, what bottom line on a weekly basis, what you have now in the bond market is you had big volume on Wednesday, 469,000 contracts. Yesterday we had 406. Today we had 323. What that is saying, folks, is that is pushing into the higher swings with volume. Okay? Now, you break topside at 146.11. That is a price projection, if you get the volume, of 160. That's how that's set up. And this consolidation has been getting tighter and tighter and tighter. And this consolidation has been going on since September 19th. You know, but bottom line, this has been a monster acceleration of contracts and volume this week. You know, now what does it mean if bonds are going to go basically take top side? Let's go over to the U.S. dollar. We go take a look at the dollar index we're talking about here. Dollar index closes at 78.92. Closes its lows. We do 28,000 contracts. The initial breakout was 79.24. Couldn't hold it. We take this, and I'm going to put this on a DX. We're going to put this on a continuous contract in order to get what it's doing right now. So continuous DX. Oops. DX1. Okay, so we put this on a continuous contract. Come on, baby. DX1. Just give me one. I'll get this code up here. There she is. Okay. So on a continuous contract, I'm going to bring this back to 10. We put this on a weekly. Clean it up. Okay, so what we have in a continuous contract is this. The last acceleration up on bonds went from, on the dollar index went from 74.80 up to 82. You know, this baby closed, the continuous is at 78.91. And that's, you know, once you got beyond actually the break topside of December, which that bottom was 78.69, it's saying, okay, you can get down to 78.42. Yeah, 78.42. But what I expect you're going to see, and this is where the correlation goes from the market, from the S&Ps, to the bond market, to the dollar. And the S&P and the bond market have absolutely no divergence. That divergence there, the S&P wants to back down. The bond market wants to go up. The dollar, flat out, you can definitely argue that, hey, that thing can go lower. So that is divergence there. I suspect what you're going to have is that the bond market does want to go topside. Why? Because the S&P wants to go downtown. What ends up happening when that happens? Well, you don't know, this is the chicken or the egg. Does the dollar go first, or does, when the S&P comes down, does all the money flow into the dollar? Either way, I suspect that you're going to have the dollar going topside also. We go over to the euro. You take a look at the euro. That is the other correlation of it. The euro closed at 132, and, you know, bottom line, that the euro can get its up into this actually, you can go to 135 pretty easy, you know. 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world. And the world of the markets, folks. We had the Dow down 74, NASDAQ up 11, S&P's off 2.5. We're going to be right back.